Welcome to Solve It Like a Marketer. I'm Stephen Ohmae. Today I'll be exploring Marketing Theory Explained, the 3 C's model by Kenichi Ohmae. If you like this video, please subscribe and don't go away. Now, in response to many of your questions about marketing theorists, I thought I would do a whole series on marketing theories and the theorists who came up with them. And I wanted to start with one of my favorite marketing theorists, and that would be Kenichi Ohmae. So who, among other things, is responsible for the 3 C's model. Now, I did do a short video about this a couple of years ago, but I thought it was worth revisiting with some extra content and material. So let's start off with the man himself. So first off, it's interesting to note that although when you look him up online, his name is spelt Ohmae with an H, and this is actually not correct in Japanese, in the Japanese language. It actually should be Ohmae with a double O, just in case you're wondering. So let's get back to the man himself. So Kenichi Ohmae was born in 1943. Now he studied at Waseda University in Tokyo, the Institute for Technology, and before taking his PhD in nuclear engineering at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, also known as MIT. Now, Ohmae has been actually described as Mr. Strategy, and according to the Financial Times of London, he is Japan's only management guru. He's an author of roughly about 100 books, and many of them are devoted to business and socio-political analysis. And his books are full of Japanese examples, and they really helped familiarize Western audiences with Japan's management breakthroughs. For instance, is the introduction of the just-in-time system, which was used at Toyota. Now, at the time, Ohmae took American and European ideas and interpreted them for a Japanese audience. In his 1982 book, The Mind of the Strategist, The Art of Japanese Business, this was very influential and one of the most strategic books of the 20th century. Here are some other highlights of his career. He was a nuclear engineer turned organizational management and strategy expert, advisor to public and private sector organizations. Of course, as I've mentioned, he developed the 3 C's model, which we're looking at today, combining the best of strategy from around the globe. He worked for McKinsey & Company for 23 years. And it was Dr. Ohmae's job to work with some of the world's industry leaders, really guiding them in terms of their management style and enabling performance and efficiency to be increased, thus driving long-term success. Now, in his 23 years at McKinsey & Company, he worked with a variety of sectors: telecommunications, chemicals, rubber, industrial machinery, office equipment, and food. And it was really his understanding of globalization that's made him one of the foremost experts in the subject. And throughout his career and his writings, he's explored how global corporations and regional economies are changing the face of present and future business and politics. Now let's turn to the 3 C's model itself. So Kenichi Ohmae created this model or framework in 1982. It takes into account 3 factors which need to be optimized in order to create a competitive advantage. And at its core, the 3 C's model is a framework designed to help companies compete successfully within their chosen market. The model is composed of a 3-factor Venn diagram, and this includes customers, competitors, and company. Let's break it down. Customer refers to developing your product or service with the customer in mind. Here, questions to consider might be, how do you segment your customers? Have you developed buyer personas for your customer groups? What are the common buying decisions your prospects or customers make? What is the demographic makeup of your buyer? What do they value about the product or service that you provide? Are you getting regular feedback from them? Now on to competitors. So I can't stress this enough. It's so important to know who your competitors are. And this is both large and small. So this goes again for both direct and indirect competitors. So my typical approach is to create a spreadsheet with all the data housed there so that you can really see it at a glance. Here, questions to consider are: how is their engagement on social media? How strong is their mission or value proposition? What are their price points as opposed to yours? What does their collateral look like? How similar are their customers to yours? Finally, corporation. So, for this, I typically conduct a SWOT analysis, and this looks at all the high-level aspects of your company, from its strengths to weaknesses, opportunities to threats. And the key here is to properly identify the core of your business. Is it truly well defined to both you and your customers? What can be improved upon in the coming months and years? What are you doing well, and then again, not so well? What are external forces out of your control that can affect your business? Now, these are only a few of the questions you might consider, but once you get into the thick of your SWOT analysis, many more key questions will arise. So, in short, once you've completed the 3C's analysis, you should be able to visualize the balance between company, customers, and competitors. And this process is actually also termed sometimes a situational analysis. In other words, where does your company stand now, with a view to forward thinking? In other words, where do you want to be? Now, I wanted to address just how flexible this framework is. Sometimes I work with nonprofits, so I adapt the language slightly. So for company, I would refer to this as organization. For competitors, I usually talk about indirect competitors. Now, sometimes I do get a little bit of pushback with this. We don't have competitors, they may say. So I point out that with many nonprofits, you might have, say, members or donors, and there may be other organizations out there also fundraising in the same space. For instance, healthcare or education. So think about what other organizations are also trying to raise money or raise awareness on social media about their efforts. These are indeed considered indirect competitors. And finally, of the three, we have customers. Again, let's twist this slightly and talk about maybe donors or members. So these, in a way, are your customers. How do you effectively reach and engage with them? Do they fully understand exactly what it is that you do and what you can do for them? So, as you can see, the 3C's model is really quite flexible. When I'm doing marketing strategy sessions with different companies and organizations, I always begin by examining this model and working through the process with them. Whether you are large or small, Ohmae's 3C's model is worth tackling while developing your overall marketing strategy. If you'd like to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button and please share so that others can enjoy my videos as well. You can also catch me on Instagram and Facebook for extra content and you never miss an episode, or connect with me on LinkedIn. Always, those links are below. I will see you every week with a new video, so please stay tuned and together, let's solve it like a marketer.